Hello and welcome to another episode of Codo Cinema, the podcast show where I talk about movies. I'm your host, the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Codo, aka Codo Man. Well, since we are on episode 86 of Codo Cinema, it's time to talk more about movies. And let's go back in time to the 70s. That was a good time, right? But did you know that sometime in the 70s, like 1975 for example, we got our very first blockbuster film? Well, do you want to know what film it was? Well, if you guessed Star Wars, well, you're kind of close. But it was actually the 1975 Steven Spielberg film, Jaws. And I'm not going to do this alone. Christian Taylor is back on board with me. Christian, welcome back.
Thank you for having me back. I'm pretty excited to talk about this one. This is going to be I just got a good feeling that this one is going to be a very good one, like always. And this is going to be a good film to talk about.
Yeah, it sure is. Marshall Mathers will also be on this episode, but he's not here yet. But we got a very special guest star on board. He is easily one of the main professors and managers for Hitmix 88.9 WEIU, and one of the main stars for I'm going to introduce that to him.
Issues and Attitudes.
Issues and Attitudes. I had an issue right there, folks. So Jeff Owens is one of the main stars of Issues and Attitudes, as well as the radio manager for Hitmix 88.9 WEIU, along with Rob Calhoun. Jeff, welcome to Codo Cinema.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me, Codo Man. It's good to be here. And when I one day I said, hey, whenever you talk about Jaws, let me on, because I was 9 years old in the summer of '75 when Jaws came out, and it was just an unbelievable time. So I really look forward to spending a few minutes today talking about Jaws in 1975.
Why? Yes, because Jaws is easily one of the best summer blockbusters, including the first blockbuster film.
Yeah, it really was.
And
to take some of your listeners back to 1975, when you think about what happened, with the making of Jaws, really shark attacks were not even in the news. There wasn't magazines talking about shark attacks. But once Jaws came out, the evening news led with, like, if there was shark attacks anywhere that day in California or Australia or in Florida or anywhere along the East Coast. And then all of a sudden these magazines came out, telling the stories, sometimes in graphic detail, about shark attacks all across the country. And it became almost this unbelievable pop culture thing of the summer of '75 and sharks and Jaws and the beginning of TV blockbuster. So it was a great time in cinematic history, but it was also a very neat time to be a young kid and experience all this stuff that was so new to me, because you never thought about it, shark attacks. And then in 1975,
Jaws came out, and there was that. I mean, and you mentioned there were definitely problems with the shark as well.
And think about this now, Christian, you can pipe in here, is we still have Shark Week on all these channels and all these shark shows and all these shark different remakes and Sharknadoes. It really all started in the summer of 1975.
Yeah, do you agree, Christian?
I totally agree with that. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, when I was a kid, I was hooked on Discovery Channel. Like, every week I was watching Dirty Jobs, Mythbusters, Deadliest Catch, and I always watched the Shark Week episodes. There was something so unique about them, It's like it's a few hours dedicated to learning about this species of sea life. You don't think about too much.
Yeah, and I know you guys will get into some more of the detail of the making of the movie and what happened on set.
Right.
But I remember I went with my mom and dad to see Jaws, and it was summer 1975.
I know, and the film was rated PG.
Yeah.
And today it would have been rated R today.
Yeah,
but
just because the opening scene alone with the girl from behind,
Right.
The silhouette of her in the moonlight as she went skinny dipping. But I can remember when the head fell out. Remember when they went out in the night trying to think that boat was the one?
Yeah.
And the head fell out through the hole. My mom grabbed me like I wasn't supposed to see this, this chopped off head of. It was just incredible, and it's one of those movies that I go back to that summer, but then every time it's on, and this is why I think it's a good movie, Christian and Mark, if it's on, you got to watch a few minutes of it, even if you're busy and you're scanning the dial. I have to watch a little bit of Jaws.
Right, and I'm pretty sure Marshall can also agree with that too. Marshall, hey Marshall, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show, Marshall.
Thank you very much for having me back.
Yeah, and obviously we were talking about Jeff, Christian, and I. We were definitely talking about the film Jaws. Well, obviously you mentioned the opening of Jaws, right?
Yeah, I mean the opening scene was incredible. The opening, and then that whole summer, that's all people talked about, Jaws. And then immediately, as soon as fall got here, I think the distribution company was like, "Are you going to come out with Jaws 2?" And nothing was ever as good as the original. But when you think about Summer '75 and Jaws, and another neat sideline about Jaws is that all three of the stars, Dreyfuss, Scheider, and Shaw, none of them were who Steven Spielberg wanted. He did none of those were the three original people they wanted, and can you imagine it with any of those three not being in it? Would the movie have been as good?
Yeah,
I don't think it would have.
I don't think it would have been either. It's like, I don't know. It's like, it's so weird to me. Everything that needed to happen happened. Like, for example, what Jeff's talking about with the casting, it was so perfect. It's like every person who shows up in this played their parts perfectly. You can't imagine anyone else playing these roles. Like, my favorite character was Hooper, played by Richard Dreyfuss. In my opinion, he was the best character in the film. He was just so energetic. Every time he had screen time, he was very comedic. He was I could relate to him. He's like the younger college kid, who...
Yeah, and
he had to prove himself every time.
Yeah, he had to prove himself. Like, I actually am very smart. I know what I'm doing, because Shaw, Quentin... The old
Robert Shaw.
Yeah, he's the old time fisherman who thinks that Hooper's this young kid who's trying to act all tough, and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, Richard Dreyfuss, if you read the book, Peter Benchley's book, Hooper dies. Hooper doesn't make it, but in the movie, at the last second, they took that out and let him obviously survive. So that would have been again another thing. Would the movie have been as good if Hooper would have died when he went down in the? In the whatever you want to call those,
I think it was in the cage, but I feel like even if he didn't die, the movie was still good. The movie was still good either way. It's just the fact I didn't even know that he was gonna die. Although I think we all saw Robert Shaw's character coming, because I'm pretty sure there was like a video trailer where they actually showed the shark attack killing Robert Shaw.
Yeah, and I think it worked out perfect the way they did it. And again, it was Steven Spielberg got lucky. He really did with some of the stuff that was last minute changes. Obviously, Roy Scheider's the famous line, "You're going to need a bigger boat."
Exactly,
was ad-libbed.
Yeah,
improvised.
The shark, fell to the bottom of the sea the first time. I didn't realize until I did a little research today, and maybe you heard this, Christian or Marshall or Mark, is that the boat sank once. Did you know that?
Yeah, because like during filming, so they were like on break or something, and like they designed the boat where they had a loose plank. So when they were filming the scenes of the boat sinking, they would just yank a rope, plank comes off, boat starts to sink, but it came off on accident, and the entire crew's on it with all the film equipment and everything. So the crew's like scrambling, trying to get all this very expensive equipment off the boat and onto the barge or whatever.
I mean, and they were filming on the ocean. They were filming on the ocean too.
Yeah,
one of the first movies to actually do on site on ocean shooting. Now, they shot some in a pool as well, but a lot of the stuff that you remember from the movie, basically the last half hour of the movie,
and
was
also
all ocean.
Yeah, and also I was wanting to backtrack a sec. So when you guys were talking about Hooper surviving the film, so actually what happened was, there was a second unit shooting real-life shark footage off the coast of Australia, and the scenes when you see Hooper in the cage, that was actually a small person stunt double, because the sharks they were finding were too small. So they had the idea, okay, let's put a small person in a smaller cage, so that way it makes the sharks look bigger than what they are.
Wow, I did not know that at all.
Yeah, I didn't know that at all, yeah.
The things you learn on Codo Cinema.
Yeah, the things you learn, right? And the shark footage, you see the shark's head being stuck in the cage, and it's like shaking the cage around. That's a real shark. And what happened was the stunt double wasn't in the cage when they shot that, so they had to change the script to let Hooper live, because that's all they could do. Because if they hadn't done that, that footage would have been completely useless. It was so unique, they wanted to use it. So they were forced to change the script and let Hooper live.
Yeah, I mean, Marshall, anything to add on that too?
This movie is based off of a book.
Yep. Peter Benchley's book. He was an author of the 60s and 70s, and it was actually, I think it was called Jaws, and that's where if you notice it, it'll say at the end, I think, based on a novel by Peter Benchley, and he actually wrote a couple other popular movies in the 70s that I think were made into or books that were made into movies, but obviously nothing to the highlight of Jaws. So, hey guys, I'm going to have to go to another meeting, but this is one of my favorite movies of all time. So I just wanted to use my boss's leverage to get in and say I want to talk about this movie and all it means, but and also for your dedication. This is episode 86?
86. This is episode 86. And Jeff, I know I messed up on the issues and attitudes
That's
one,
all right.
but even though it was coming to my mind, but hey, you know, sometimes I do have a little issue when it comes to getting the names.
It's all good, my man. I will go. I'll let Marshall take my seat. You guys keep talking about one of the great movies in Jaws.
All
See
right,
you guys.
Jeff. I'll open a portal for you to leave for your meeting. Here you go. Thank you, Jeff.
He'll be in Doctor Strange 2 as Multiverse of Madness. A lot of people we had on our show.
And so I was want to get back on track here for a sec. I just gotta say, Marshall, thank you very much for joining us. This is gonna be fun. Like we're already off to a very good start.
Oh yeah, very good start. And because hey, Jeff Owens being a very big fan of Jaws, one of his favorite movies of all time, might as well bring him on board.
And like he was around when the film came out, so it's like he gave us some really good insight.
Yeah,
on that,
and
like,
if you really think about it, this is actually during a time when technology was not as advanced as we see
You had
now.
Star Wars though.
Right, that's true. That's true because we got because of Star Wars, and Star Wars was another blockbuster blockbuster film, but that's another film for another day.
When did this movie come out?
the film I actually hold on a sec. I actually have this. The film was released on June 20th, 1975. during the
Technically, this also Star Wars kinda was made at the same time, but this came out in '77.
Right, Star Wars came out in '77, but this was also made during the time when Jaws was the very first summer blockbuster film.
Yeah, and to backtrack a little bit, we were talking about Peter. How do you say his last name again? Is it Benchleigh?
I think that's how we say it. Peter. I think that's how we say his.
Bentley?
I think it's Peter Benchley.
Yes,
Bench, like bench.
His middle
Benchley.
name is Bradford, and he wrote a lot of amazing books.
Yeah.
And Jaws, and the Jaws novel he wrote was the #1 seller of 1974 when it was released.
Yeah, that's very.
So
that's very
I think it
impressive,
was
yeah.
like I think that alone shows that it was guaranteed to get a film adaptation or how do you say it again? Is it
Adaptation of a book to movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to the film's credit, I mean, you could definitely tell what they were going for in this film. But at the same time, there was a lot of production issues going on in this film. And I was also watching part of the documentary that Christian sent to me that this film had a lot of problems. And at one point, Steven Spielberg was really depressed and sad and had this sick feeling almost every day when he was making this film. And then at one point, he actually dropped out of one film that he was originally going to direct. I forgot the name of the film, but he dropped out of that film just to direct Jaws. And Spielberg was like, I dropped out of this film for this?
Yeah, like so to back you up on that, a movie that he originally wanted to make was called Doctor Strangelove, but a friend of his convinced him to do the Jaws film instead.
But wait, didn't Doctor Strangelove came out in 1964?
I'm not sure. Double check on that.
I knew a fact
I'm not
check.
sure the exact date, but if I remember correctly, in a documentary, it starred Burt Reynolds and some other big time actors of that time.
1964.
1964 is when Doctor Strangelove came out. Oh man, what was that?
So maybe it wasn't that movie then.
What was it? Was it Lucky Lady?
Oh, Lucky Lady. That's the one. I got it mixed up. I was thinking of something else. So it was Lucky Lady.
Yeah,
that's the one that
because
Steven Spielberg.
Spielberg's first film was The Sugarland Express, his directorial debut.
Yes, that was his first film. It did kind of tank, but it did kind of put his name out there. Like he was this young 27-year-old director, trying to get things started.
Right.
And Jaws was his first, big hit.
He was 26 when he made Jaws.
Yep.
And then I think Richard Dreyfuss was somewhere around Steven
Yes.
Spielberg's age as well, because he was also Richard Dreyfuss was coming off the success of American Graffiti with George Lucas.
He wasn't supposed to be in the movie, but you wanna know why?
Why?
He was suggested by a great man that we all know and love today.
That is true.
His name was George Lucas.
That's right.
Yeah. It's funny. Richard Dreyfuss, they actually had to convince him several times to come on to this project, because he originally didn't want to do it because Spielberg wanted him to play the part of Hooper instantly, but he said no because he thought the film would be extremely hard to shoot, but they convinced him to do it, and I could not be more happy. Like Hooper, his portrayal of Hooper was so incredible.
I mean, I agree. I agree, and he's a bit of a hothead too for some moments. Like I definitely caught moments where Hooper was a hothead. Like during some moments when he was arguing with Chief Brody on the ocean. There were definitely moments like that. I think one or two moments like when Brody accidentally knocked over the air canisters, and then like wondering and Hooper was like wondering what Brody was thinking. Do you have any better ideas?
Yeah, like there are so many moments where he loses his temper. Like my favorite moment in this whole thing was when him and the sheriff.
I think his name is
Sheriff Brody. Yeah,
Chief Brody.
Yeah, Chief Brody. Him and Brody are trying to convince the mayor the shark has not been caught. That was a different one. The actual shark who's eating people is still out there. We cannot hold our weekend, summer event or whatever it was.
Right, and they really prepped for that because they actually had a lot of security, and I'm pretty sure what are they? Shark hunters probably out in the ocean just to make sure no shark is gonna eat the people. But that turned out at one point it turned out to be a fake out because two kids disguised themselves as sharks, and then one woman discovered the shark going into the pool side where Chief Brody's son was with his pals on a boat.
You know what's funny?
What's funny?
There were behind the scenes. There's 3 fake sharks, right?
Yes,
and the 3 fake sharks' name was called Bruce. Honor.
Yeah.
It's after it's after Steven Spielberg's lawyer.
Oh, really? Wait,
yes.
Bruce Honor?
Yes.
Bruce Honor. Wait, what was the third one then?
Bruce Honor.
Bruce Honor.
They're all named Bruce Honor.
They're all named Bruce Honor.
They're all named Bruce Honor.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and
I see. Oh, I see what you. I see.
Yeah, it was kind of like an inside joke, among the set, which I thought was pretty funny. And to continue, the 3 sharks, 2 were mounted on an arm like a crane, which ran along a submerged steel rails along a run of more than 50 feet in a straight line. One could be filmed from the left and the other from the right. So you had a right and a left shark.
That's actually pretty clever.
And the shark was controlled. It was steam powered. Like they had a barge where they had these levers. Like, okay, I want you to open the mouth. So you'd like pull a lever and the mouth would like open up. So it was all mechanical.
Yeah, it was all mechanical. Yeah.
Let's see. The Oscars is coming out, right?
What?
Oscars.
Yeah.
So Jaws won 3 Oscars.
Oh yes, it won for best original score for John Williams.
Best original sound and score, and best film editing.
Hey, I mean this film was so good, and it won 3 Oscars. And since I mentioned John Williams, can we all agree that the music in this film also steals the show too?
Yes, like when I rewatched the documentary over the weekend in preparation for this specific subject, and Spielberg himself has stated that the most contributing factor, like of all the times that John Williams did the scores for his films, he thinks the film that benefited John's music the most was Jaws. He thinks that was the best contribution that John Williams ever did for him.
And I agree because he literally wrote out a very good score. It's very creepy too because at the opening of the film, you see the credits rolling and also you're underwater, so it's like the audiences and viewers are basically being the shark as it was moving underwater, swimming underwater. You get the music going on, and it's like the shark is creeping up, the shark is creeping in, the shark is creeping up, the shark is creeping in. The music really helps to build tension of that before it cuts to the evening teenagers on the beach.
What's funny?
Like, go ahead, Marshall. You go ahead.
So you know how Jaws came out, and then you have all these other movies, right? Like,
yeah.
You got Piranha.
Wasn't Piranha a ripoff of Jaws, or that came out first?
Piranha came out in early 2000s. You have Mako, the Jaws of the Death. Orca and Barracuda.
Oh wow, those are like the films that came out right after Jaws,
No,
right?
there's like stuff that imitates Jaws. And Alien was supposed to be Jaws in space.
Really? Alien was the Alien film that Ridley Scott did in 1979.
Yeah, it was just Jaws in space.
That's true.
Well, you see, it's one of those things where it's like when a film comes out in a certain genre, when a film gets so big, it's like people take inspiration. Like for example, you can't so here's another example for you. You can't make a Western anymore without referencing it to the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Exactly.
With the classic whoa, 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 whoa.
That's right. Ennio Morricone's score for the Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and quite possibly the first two of the Dollars trilogy.
Yeah, like that whole trilogy, it's like every time someone makes a Western now, there's always a reference to one of those films in it. Like you can't make them anymore without referencing it in some way. That's how big those films were. Now back on to Jaws. This film was so big, it's like people still take inspiration from it to this very day. It's like it made so many new concepts that were never really explored before.
And this film has been referenced multiple times in media.
Oh yeah, this film was one of the biggest influences in pop culture media. Like, like the merchandise, for example. Like this is like one of those first films where it's like the merchandise was huge. There was all kinds of stuff. T-shirts, for example, cups,
and then I'm pretty sure you might have seen some movie posters.
Oh yeah, the movie poster.
Oh,
toys,
and Universal Orlando, they actually had a Jaws ride, but that was actually taken down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the rumor of that was, of why the Jaws ride was taken down.
I know why.
Go ahead, Marshall.
You want to see some dinosaurs?
Jurassic Park.
Oh, Jurassic Park. Yeah,
That's right.
Which ironically enough was also directed by Spielberg.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's very ironic too.
Yeah, and it's like this film, this film really made Steven Spielberg's career. It's like I want to take a minute and talk about Spielberg for 1 second because he's made so many unique films. It's like anyone who grew up on his movies, I guarantee you anyone could name at least one that he's done. After this film, he went on to direct hits such as Schindler's List, Jurassic Park, E.T., Saving Private Ryan, and the Indiana Jones movies.
And don't forget about Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yes, that too.
And that film came out the same year as Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So he was going up against his best buddy, George Lucas.
Technically, he was going against his own self because he was executive producer on most of the Star Wars films.
Was Steven Spielberg one of the executive producers?
Yeah, on some of them.
And Spielberg was also a producer on Back to the Future. His name's on the poster.
That's true. That is very true.
George Lucas was also executive. They share their work sometimes.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, hey, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, they're actually a pretty good combination.
What was his first film, if y'all know?
For George Lucas or Steven Spielberg?
Still Steven Spielberg.
I think it was a Sugarland Express.
Okay.
And George Lucas, the very first film he ever made was a film he made in college called 1138. It's a mini space story about this prisoner who tries to break out of like this space prison.
Anyone else funny?
And
what's funny about that?
That's just Star Wars.
Yeah, Mark Hamill Mark Hamill went off script and he referenced 1138 in Star Wars New Hope. When him and Han are taking Chewie up to rescue Leia, an officer walks up to them. "Where are you taking this thing?" Mark goes, "Cell block 1138."
Yeah.
Which I thought was a nice little reference.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the script. Mark went off script and said that, which I thought was so cool.
Yeah, you're talking about Mark Hamill.
Yes, Mark Hamill.
You want to really know what Steven Spielberg's first movie was?
What? I thought it was Sugarland Express.
What do you think his first film was?
Well, that was his first big hit. I'm sure he probably made something in film school.
What was his first?
Right?
Go ahead, Marshall.
His first film was a Western called The Last Gunfight.
Oh wait, I think that was a short film. Maybe that was a short film. Wasn't that a short film?
Yes.
I'm not sure. I've never heard of it.
I never heard.
I would
was.
imagine it probably was.
It was.
Yeah.
Maybe
Most directors do that. Like, for example, the Evil Dead films by Sam Raimi. Him and Bruce actually made a prototype when they were in the mid 70s called Into the Woods. It was like say 30 to 40 minutes. It was like a prototype to the first Evil Dead. It was like a
Yes.
mini short film. So a
Yeah.
lot of directors were known to start off by doing that.
Yeah, I mean, even for Spielberg himself, Jaws wasn't even his wasn't his. I mean, it was his first. Should I say horror film? Because even though it's a summer blockbuster,
Nah,
it's not.
It's not a horror film.
Well, if you
Well,
count
it
the
did definitely
it did
have some
have-
moments.
I say
shark- the
It's
shark is-
like it's a like a. It's kind.
Well, I
you
mean-
can debate about that.
I mean,
yeah.
that's
dude,
up for
thi-
debate. But
think
he's.
about-
Go ahead,
Oh,
Christian.
sorry. I was gonna say. Well, think about this for a second. Like, there's literally a scene where a dead body floats up into a hole in the boat. We literally see a kid get eaten. We see
Exactly. We see the kid, and I think there were supposed to be other clips of that where we see the body getting eaten, but that was cut out.
Literally, any movie can do that.
Yeah, any movie can
So
do
like,
that. Yeah.
it's
And-
not a horror movie. Any movie can do that.
And then a dude straight up loses his leg, and we watch it fall to the bottom of the
literally any movie
Yeah.
can do
ocean.
that.
Like, there are some horrific moments. Not to mention when Quint gets eaten at the end. Like, that was horrific.
That was horrific, and I think many people remember this film because of that scene where Quint gets eaten by the shark, and then Brody just sits there watching him getting devoured. Although he did try to save Quint, but Quint slipped.
But Steven Spielberg. Let's talk about him for a bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Let's go.
He dropped out of film school.
He did.
Yeah,
He dropped out of film
Yep,
school.
yep. He got a job at Universal Television,
Well, that's
and
actually
then
pretty good.
at a young age, it still may happen because they're trying to figure out what to do with this franchise
Mm-hmm.
now. He wanted to make a James Bond film.
He wanted to make a James Bond film.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So it may happen now because they have no James Bond.
I mean, you never.
after last
I mean,
year.
you never know. You never know.
And also Steven Spielberg. I can pull my notes. One of Steven Spielberg's most famous character was brewed up on a holiday with George Lucas.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
You want to know what that was?
What? What it was?
Okay, I gotta find you. Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Yep. And to give some more feedback on Spielberg, like, he has had like major success. Like, take a look at his awards, for example. He has won Best Director Oscar twice.
For Schindler's List and Saving Private Ryan.
Maybe
yes.
again because he's back in the running up for this Oscars,
Oh, that's true because he's also nominated for West Side Story as well.
which is made by Disney.
Yeah, and
Actually,
he has,
20th Century Fox because I think this was before they bought this.
No, this was right after they brought it.
Was that after that?
Yep.
Okay.
And he also won Best Film Oscar for Schindler's List as well. And he also won 4 Emmy Awards and 4 BAFTA Awards.
I mean-
so like, this dude, like, he's had major success.
I mean, he's a big name. I mean, that's why a lot of people consider Steven Spielberg as one of the greatest directors of all time. I mean, he's one of the greatest directors of all time, especially coming off the success of his earlier films like Jaws, Indiana Jones, even hitting a hard spot on the Twilight Zone film for his segments with John Landis. That was a little rough. That's
You
basically
talk about the
rough.
curse set?
What?
That's the curse set. We don't talk about that. That's,
Yeah, I
that's
know.
rule number 155.
I don't know what Rule 155 is.
We don't talk about cursed movie sets in this studio.
Yeah, let's not do that. That's like a bad omen
but
right there.
at the very least, you know, he's still making movie after movie.
So I'm gonna tell you his 3 highest films right now, high grossing movies.
Tell me about it. Was one of them E.T.?
You got. Let me get through the list. Number 1. Technically, I'm gonna do this. This is number 3 because Jaws
Okay.
made $470 million.
Yes.
Yes.
And in 1982, his second highest grossing film, a little alien called The Extraterrestrial,
That's what I said. E.T.
made over 792 million.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't be dinosaurs, man.
Oh,
Everybody
that's true.
everybody
Jurassic Park.
everybody
I
loves
forgot
dinosaurs,
about that one.
which took $914 million worldwide.
Until it was re-released in 2013.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count. It says 1993. It says nothing about 2013. And he's still making money to this day because Jurassic World ends this year.
That's true. I
I'm
mean,
sorry, Jurassic Park. They changed the name to Jurassic World in 2015.
well, that's true. I mean, don't forget, Spielberg didn't direct the Jurassic World films.
He's executive producer.
Right, he's executive producer. So anyway, going back to Jaws, like I mean, I remember this film. I actually saw this film when I was in middle school. When I was in middle school on DVD. Now, at one point, I mean, I just can't believe it was rated PG. So I was like, how come I'm seeing? And at the time, I was like, how come I'm seeing a lot of blood? It almost looked like I was watching an R-rated film. But at the time, I didn't really care about that at the time.
That's true. One more last thing about Spielberg before we go right back to Jaws.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
you know Schindler's List, right?
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that film.
He did not take no money from that movie. He gave it all back.
Yeah, he did.
Ooh, where did he-
Actually,
where did
he
he
did.
get-
I read about that
He
somewhere.
gave it to the Shaha Foundation, which is preserved testimonies from genocide survivors, including the Holocaust.
Yeah, I guess like.
Yeah.
And he refused to autograph any stuff that has to do with Schindler's List.
Well, I don't blame him.
Yeah,
Because, like, dude,
yeah,
Schindler's
I
List,
agree.
like, Schindler's List wasn't like, it's not like one of those films, oh my gosh, I love this film so much. It's like, it's depressing.
It's
like,
very serious. It's
it's
a very
very
serious
serious.
film, and you can also say the same thing about Saving Private Ryan as
Yeah,
well.
but the thing
Yeah.
is, it hit home for him more.
That's right, because
He's a. Oh my God, I gotta pull up the fact again. I don't know. He
He's,
is a Orthodox Jew,
that's true. That's true. That
Jewish
really,
family.
So
It really
that
does hit
film was
home.
literally like his passion project. You know, like every director has like that one film where they pour their heart and soul into it. Like that was Schindler's List for Spielberg.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
And also, it's like, to backtrack a little bit on the box office, this film was the highest grossing film in history for 2 years till Star Wars came out a couple years
yeah,
after.
Jaws. Going backtrack to Jaws. Yeah,
Like, think about that. Your first big film held the record of highest grossing film for 2 years. Like, that is such an achievement. For your first big hit, think about how many directors that do that. That alone just shows you, like, how big this was.
I got
know?
a director that can do that.
yeah.
His name is.
What an accomplishment to me.
I think for 2 years straight, the first time it was George Lucas, then it was Steven Spielberg.
Well, actually, I think Steven Spielberg did it first because Star Wars came out 2 years after Jaws.
Yeah, it's in
It came-
1977.
That's true, but Jaws had other competition. It was like a year before, after Jaws. I forgot what other movie. It was like a big name movie that everybody wanted to watch. Came out.
1976. Like one of the actually. So okay. So to little info for you. Star Wars was actually originally going to come out in the summer of '76, but
Yes.
Smokey and the Bandit was airing during that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was doing very, very well. They were worried that Star Wars wasn't going to do well having that for competition. So they decided to wait a year and release it in '77.
Yes.
So I'm assuming
Yeah.
it was probably Smokey and the Bandit. That was probably
In 1967. No, so you said well, I forgot. This movie came out in what year? Christian?
75.
75. Hold on. I did 1967. I did the wrong year.
You're a little off.
You said 75.
Are you sure you're not going? Are you sure you're not trying to go through the behind the scenes of 2001: A Space Odyssey on that?
No.
Hold
no.
on, he's getting the facts
You
out.
so 1977, right? 1975.
Yes.
The movie that came out after this year was two heavy hitters. Actually, no, sorry, three heavy hitters that everybody wanted to see. You have King Kong,
Oh, yeah.
I totally forgot that
Carrie?
that one existed.
Oh, Carrie. Yeah,
Carrie.
yeah.
I think I
and I
remember
believe
Carrie.
I
Yeah.
forgot. I went down. To,
I'm familiar with
And-
Carrie, but I've not seen it.
and the cursed movie I can't say on this podcast because it's a very cursed movie and I'm scared. If I say the name, it might actually happen. So we're gonna roll past
Okay.
that.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's a cursed film. It's a cursed film. I'm not trying to say it.
Oof.
It's a very horror movie and it came out and had a lot of problems in it. I'm not trying to say the name.
Oh boy.
I'm not trying to get cursed.
But you do know who directed it, right?
Don't talk about it.
Okay.
And Rocky came out.
Oh, that's true.
And Rocky in '76.
And,
so
and
yeah.
the original Shaggy Dog.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Disney's original Shaggy
No.
Dog.
This wasn't even Disney's.
Oh.
Until before they brought it.
That's true. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's a lot of competition right there, and And for Jaws, I mean, look, Jaws had a lot of trouble behind the scenes. I mean, the shark had multiple malfunctions, but the fact is, they decided to build tension of that. Like, they didn't have the shark on screen multiple times, but they decided to use that just to build the tension.
They didn't have a script.
Yeah, because okay, so here I'll help you out, Marshall. I'll go off what Mark said first. So
Yeah.
Mark is bringing up a very good point. So one of the main problems was when they tested to see if the shark would work, they tested it in nice clean water, but the shark malfunctioned because they were filming in salt water.
Yeah,
And that was messing up the controls, the wiring, and everything because they weren't thinking about that when they designed the shark. So
right.
now is the reason why it didn't work at all. So in the storyboards, the shark shows up so much more than what we see in the film. So Spielberg, on the spot, had to change out the script and imply that the shark is there. We don't see it, but it's implied.
It's like
that he
it's
might
like
be there.
it's like if the viewers was the shark. Think about that.
We are the
Yeah,
shark.
because we were looking at there like the scenes where you see the camera underwater slowly going towards someone. It's literally like we were looking through the eyes of that shark.
It's like I said about the opening too, including the first attack as well on the girl.
Yeah, and fun fact. So I was want to talk about this a lot.
Yeah.
When they were filming the scene, when the girl was being dragged around, there were guys in scuba gear under the water. They tied rope to both her feet. You had a crew to the right hand side and a crew to the left hand side, and they were tugging her left and right underwater. That's how they got her to move the way we see her. And then the final pull where we see her go under the water, Spielberg did that.
Did Spielberg did that?
Yeah, he was underwater. He wanted it done a certain way, so he went under and did it himself. So when you see her go under, he's the one who yanked her under.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
Which I thought was a nice little, was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and and there were definitely times where you do see the shark, particularly the final act. And I will say this: the scene where you see that one, you do see the face too when that one guy fell off his boat. You do see the shark's face.
Yeah, during the big weekend celebration, everybody's out swimming. You know what? Brody's son's out in that lake area testing out the new boat he got for Christmas, for his birthday.
Yeah, birthday.
For his birthday, they're out testing it out, and there was a dude next to them in a little red boat, and if he accidentally flips it over, so he's like climbing back up, then we see the shark eat him from underwater. We see the mouth open.
Yeah. But we do see some of his fins too for some moments as well.
It is kind of hard to see. You kind of have to pause it, but if you really look, you can see it under the water, open the mouth, and it grabs onto one of his legs.
And that's actually pretty clever too, because I'm pretty sure there was definitely a few moments where it does work, where the shark does work, and really, wow. But don't forget, but also, if anything, it's the moment. If it's anything that really got audiences surprised, it's the moment when Chief Brody was literally throwing meat into the ocean, or chum. I don't know what it was.
It's called chum. Like, they throw it in the ocean to attract the fish they're looking for.
And then the shark's face pops up. Brody just literally stands back, so
slowly backs up,
and then he tells I think it was Robert Shaw or Richard Dreyfuss, you're gonna need a bigger boat. You're gonna need a bigger boat. Now here's the thing about that line.
It was ad-lib.
It was ad-lib, but it was supposed to be something. It was supposed to be something different. That line was supposed to be something different. I don't know what it was, but it was literally a line that. But this line that just got ad-libbed. It just popped up on Roy's mind, and then it was like he just went out and said, "You're going to need a bigger boat."
And I just want to say that line is so iconic. Like that line has been parodied so many times. Like, did you guys ever see the crossover film with Rugrats and the other show where they're stuck on an island?
The Wild Thornberries.
Yeah, that might be it, actually. In that cartoon crossover film, there's literally a scene where all the families are on a fishing boat and a giant wave is coming towards them. One of the dads looks up and says, "We're going to need a bigger boat." Like the movie is referenced all the time in other films.
For the line, but people keep saying "were" instead of "your." But
Yeah.
the
But
the thing is about that line. Roy Scheider came up with that line on the spot when he was filming, so he didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and I heard if you look up like the top 15 or like top 20 like most famous quotes in film history, that quote's on there.
It's
Yeah,
like number 5.
Yeah, I haven't seen the list personally, but I'm not
Number
surprised.
1 is "I'm the King of the World" from Titanic.
Oh, really? That's number 1?
Yeah,
Oh, and I guarantee you the famous "You Can't Handle the Truth."
that's number 2.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, I'm not surprised there.
or how about "No, I'm your father"?
That's not ad-libbed.
No, that's not ad lib.
No.
Oh, I get it. So this list you're talking about is like stuff that was ad lib.
Yeah, and no,
Yeah,
That was never ad lib.
no.
Like
Okay.
when Jack Nicholson said "You can't handle the truth,"
That
that
was
was actually ad
ad-libbed.
libbed.
And
That
"I'm
wasn't
the
in the
King of the
script.
World" was also ad-libbed too.
Yeah.
The list, I know I'm your father would be like probably number 3,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think the one that may be number 1 is "Why So Serious,"
Oh,
From
yeah.
Batman: Dark Knight,
which
yeah.
we're getting into later in the
Yeah,
later.
we'll
in the
get-
year.
we'll get to
save
that.
for a different
We're
time.
gonna save that for a different time. But
So-
anyway, can I jump into the should I jump into the ending because I rather talk about this ending
Well,
because
well,
The
Actually,
ending where he says "shoot," oh, that's
where he
Jurassic Park.
shoots the shark. He killed Roy Scheider, Chief Brody shoots the shark.
I was thinking of the scene from Jurassic Park where he says "shooter."
Yeah.
I was thinking of that
also-
scene.
And also, before we get to the ending, there's one more scene that I want to talk about, and it's Steven Spielberg's favorite scene in the entire film.
What's
It's
his
when-
favorite scene?
And it's the scene where the 3 guys are on the boat, and then Shaw tells his story about how he was a survivor of the Indianapolis. Like him and
Oh.
Hooper are comparing their scars they got from over the years of hunting fish, and the main character, Police Chief Brody's like, "What's that one on your arm?" And Shaw's like, "Oh, it's a tattoo. I had it removed." And Hooper's like, "What is it?" He says, "That's my Indianapolis tattoo." And then at that moment, the entire room goes silent because Hooper probably knows the story of that ship, and it's just quiet. And then Brody asks him what happened, and then he tells us, and then Shaw tells the story of what happened, and this was a true story. So, the Indianapolis was a attack vessel from World War II, and they had just finished delivering components for the atomic bombs that were dropped, and it was on its way home from the mission, and it was torpedoed 3 times by a Japanese submarine, and the ship sank within 12 minutes, so no distress signal was sent. All the crew were forced to jump into the water, and they were stranded and floated out at sea for 5 full days.
Wow.
1,100 men went in the water, and only 316 survived because all of them were eaten by sharks. Sharks swam around them the whole 5 days they were out there, and they were all eaten.
Eaton.
Yeah, and that's why, and that is the story that explains why Shaw hates sharks so much and why he's so obsessed with hunting them down all the time.
Which probably
he's like
explains
taking
why.
revenge.
Which probably explains why he appeared in that conference scene, scratching the board and mentioning that he'll come. I'll go after that shark if I have to.
Yeah, this shark will swallow you whole. Like, he knows. He's been up close. He's seen what they can do. He knows what he's talking about. He's seen things.
He has.
And that was the most human part of that whole thing. Like, that was like the biggest moment for me, was that story. It was so chilling every time. And when you hear that steady, creepy music in the background by John Williams, it is so intense. Like, you're just imagining these horrible things while Shaw's telling the story. You don't see it, but it's just the hairs on my arms stand up every time that scene shows up. It's so crazy.
And now let's get to now let's get to the ending. Obviously, I'm pretty sure we already mentioned that the shark was
Wrong movie.
the shark already ate Quint.
Yeah, he ate Quint, and
That's
then
actually probably, I feel like that's actually probably the best scene in that film, in my opinion, because how many times have people seen this scene of Quint getting eaten by Jaws?
Too many.
Too many times. I mean, it's just that Brody just stands there watching helplessly, seeing Quint getting eaten. Well, also, I mean, Quint was also stabbing the shark with his machete knife. I mean, I don't know if you gotta have a good eye for that.
You
Because
talking about Jason?
what?
Jason?
No, not Jason.
Oh.
He had this weird. I mean, Quint had this like. I think it was a machete or a knife. I don't remember what. I think it was a knife or a machete. I don't care. It's just like he was literally stabbing Jaws with it on the lip, because Jaws was literally throwing and strangling him around before the final crunch.
Yeah, that was so violent.
That was violent and bloody at the same time. And then
What's creepy is right after when Brody's like in the ship trying to figure out what to do, and the shark goes through the wall, and then when it opens the mouth, you can see Shaw's remains still in the shark's teeth.
Yeah.
you know, like,
I think some of his clothes, I believe.
and like that was just horrific. And then Brody quickly manages to throw the tank. You know what's funny? This scene was actually foreshadowed earlier in the film. Brody's reading books. There's a scene where he's skipping through pictures in one of the books he was reading, and it showed a picture of a shark with a tank in its mouth.
Shark
So
Tank.
it was like foreshadowing. it was foreshadowing.
Shark Tank.
It was foreshadowing this scene. So he throws it in the shark's mouth, climbs out of the boat, climbs to the mast, to the very top. He has Shaw's M1 Grand on his back, and he has that stick to fight the shark. Shark takes stick. All he has left now is 8 rounds in that rifle to aim and try to hit that tank and blow up the shark.
Yeah.
like Shark
That's it.
Tank?
And you also get this quotable line.
Yeah. Smile, you son of a, and shoots. Like,
Yep.
Shooter.
dude, I could say this shark is one clever gal.
Ooh, that's a good one. And then the death of Jaws as his
What you mean?
decapitated.
The Death of Jaws.
Well, for the first film.
He got like 3 more movies.
Okay, I know he got 3 more.
We're not gonna talk
We're not
about
gonna talk
those.
about those films.
No.
no, we're not
Let's
gonna talk
not.
about those
That's
films.
true. That's rule.
And
That's rule
can I
number
just say-
455.
455.
And also, I'd love to say that I love Brody's yell at the end when he sees the blood splattering everywhere. He gives out, I think, the biggest relief scream I've ever seen in film.
He
like,
is so relieved that he killed Jaws.
like every
Yeah.
time I watch that scene, I just want to get up and just clap for like an hour. It's just they did it. Like
They killed
won.
Jaws.
They killed the shark, but there's many more.
That's true.
Well, we got this one that was causing the problems.
Well, at the very end,
That's
you
animal
see the decapitated head of Jaws floating down to the bottom of the ocean in a bloody fashion.
With
Yeah.
where his family's at.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Oh.
And then Hooper is alive.
And that's when Jaws 2 starts.
Yep, that is true. I mean, that was a I mean, I will say this: that ending is very satisfying. Probably the most memorable part in the film. I mean, in my opinion. Although, pick your favorite scene in Jaws if you have one.
Shooter.
Okay. We get it. Steven Spielberg directed Jurassic Park. We know it. We know
E.T.
that.
go home. Phone home.
Oh my goodness.
That's what happens when you have another movie nerd in here, okay?
So,
I know.
I just want to say, guys, I am so sorry. We're trying to be serious, but Marshall is not allowing.
You better be prepared for Friday then.
Hell yeah, we'll be
great.
prepared. We'll be prepared for Friday, as Friday's episode is going to be
A 2-hour special.
2-hour special. I thought it was a 1-hour special.
Nah, it's a 2-hour. It's a lot of cover.
Oh my gosh!
So-
I don't know if I'm ready.
You not ready for this 2-hour special? It's the longest episode. And call this technically. It's gonna be the first episode. This is gonna be a runner-up.
This is dude. That next one it's just gonna be
Drum roll,
complete
please.
uncharted territory.
So you know how we did for No Way Home, right? You thought
Yeah.
you thought we were gonna leave the MCU alone and the
Heck
Eternals.
no, there's more to
You,
talk
you
about.
see, this Friday, Phase 1 MCU. Next Friday, Phase 2.
Wait, next Friday.
Wait,
no,
hold
not
on.
next Friday. Next.
I got the schedule. You right?
Now wait a minute, Marshall. Why are you announcing this? I'm looking through our script. I'm not.
Let's skip.
I'm not seeing this in our script. Director, was he supposed to be? Is he going off script here?
I'm pretty sure it's ladies and gentlemen, it's going off script.
Phase 1, February 11th. Phase 2.
The Dark Knight trilogy for actually 85 and a half.
Yes.
And I would also like to say I want to thank Marshall. He actually took time to make us an official
Yes.
list of all of our future topics. So I thought that was very nice of him to do. There's
you already
plenty.
heard us talk about bad movies / good anime movies.
Right.
You just hear us talk about Jaws.
And episode 87 will be recorded on Friday with Phase 1 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe on February 11th, followed by February 16th of episode 87 being the Dark Knight trilogy.
And then episode 88.5, February. Oh, that's May. Never mind. February 18th, MCU Phase 2. And then Superman on the original Superman with Christopher Reeves, February 23rd. Phase 3 of the MCU, Part 1.
will be on March 2nd, and we're going to leave it right there because as much as we want to go down the list, we are short on time
There's
on
stuff
this
we
episode.
can't tell you it, but
But we got more films coming up until the 100th episode. And listen, the 100th episode will be a secret film, and I'm not going to tell you, neither anybody in this room are going to tell you what film it's going to be. Well, maybe not Batman, except for the Dark Knight trilogy.
vengeance.
But anyway, the 100th episode is gonna be a secret. We don't know
Sonic
what
the Hedgehog 2.
we don't know what film it's gonna be.
Yeah, we're gonna go out.
We are gonna go. But we're gonna. Oh my goodness!
You know what? Let's just do Sonic. Why not? Let's just end on that one.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway,
Literally.
I'm gonna end this right
Wait,
here.
I
Plot
have to
twist.
tell
We're
the
like
people.
we're building this up to a big finale. It's Sonic.
Hey, fellas, Jaws is coming to eat you.
There's one-
He just came out of Doctor Strange's portal.
I'm on a table. He can't touch me.
Are you sure?
Give me a
Oh, wait,
Avengers
oh, wait a minute.
Spielberg film stab where it's just all Spielberg's film characters coming
That's
together
true. I
as
like
a
that.
team.
You know what it's called?
What?
It's called Ready Player One. Go watch that.
Okay. I have seen that. Thank you very much.
Yep.
And that's very
we all have
true.
seen. I have seen it too. So,
But to give you a little insight about Friday, it's not just 3 people talking about this movie.
there's gonna be 6
There's
people.
gonna be 6. And you know what 6 mean?
I'll team up the original OG Avengers,
Yes.
but this
How
time
ironic.
it's gonna be combined. But it's definitely gonna be combined with people from WEIU and people outside of WEIU.
Wait, is it really?
Yeah, I got 2 people. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. You gotta find out who these 3 people are. 1 you already met. The other 2 you have not.
Yep.
This is the end of Codo Cinema.
Codo Cinema is not over yet.
Yeah.
Well, for this episode.
He's in the end game now.
For this episode, it's over, but we still got more episodes to come later in the semester.
You have
Yeah.
literally 80, like a 12, not even 12. I say about 13 more episodes left.
Yeah, definitely. And,
well, actually, 14 because we're recording Friday.
Yes, mini
Yeah.
episodes.
Yep.
Mini episodes.
All right. So anyway, we're gonna end it off right here.
Yeah, so that is the Jaws podcast, and I just want to say that this one was actually a lot more fun to talk about because, like, I broke the notes out for this one. Like, this film means a lot to me.
It really
And I
does.
was wanting to say, like, Mark was talking about how he got introduced to the film near the beginning. I hate myself for this. I watched the film for the first time just a year or 2 ago. Like last year,
Hey,
for
it's
some
okay, it's
reason,
okay.
I never
It's okay.
watched it growing up. Like I grew up on Spielberg films, like the Indiana Jones movies, the Jurassic Park. Those films were part of the childhood list that made me who I am now.
E.T. phone home?
No, I didn't watch E.T. I never watched that, but
never watched E.T., y'all.
I never watched Jaws for some reason. So I'm like, I can't call myself a film lover if I haven't seen this. So I finally watched it, and I was blown away with just how good it was, you know, and it's an experience. This film is just another one of those examples. We can't talk about it enough. You have to see it for yourself.
See it to believe it.
And the best part for me, this film is still scaring the heck out of audiences almost 50 years later. It's like, I went on YouTube just the other day. All these YouTube channels that people who do reactions to film I watched him react to the Jaws film. It is hilarious. Like, it's still just as incredible as it was 50 years ago. It's still scaring audiences, making new fans. This film, it's never going to die. It's going to be famous, I think, till humanity goes extinct or something. Like,
Yeah.
This movie has competition with
Yep.
a lot.
Yeah.
That's true. But anyway, we are going to end it right here, everybody. By the way, Christian, Marshall, thank you so much for hopping on board for the Jaws episode. And also,
We'll be back
yeah, we'll be
Yeah,
back.
every day,
Well,
Yeah.
maybe not every day.
every episode.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, and also very special shout out to Jeff Owens
My
for
boss.
appearing
Yeah,
on this
our
episode.
boss.
I mean, special shout out to Jeff Owens who appeared on this episode and who also grew up with the Jaws film. So special shout out to him.
Yeah, definitely. It was so cool getting to hear. Like I said, it was so awesome getting to hear his insight on what he experienced with this movie and everything. It's like it was so cool. I'm glad he got to come on here and do that. So yeah, big shout out to him. He is awesome.
Yes,
He is.
this is the end of Jaws, and now you really are in the end game now.
Yeah, and
You're not even in game. You're in.
Well, not
be
yet.
careful next time you go swimming.
That's true. And yeah, be careful going swimming because you never know. He could swim up behind you.
Or he can be, or Daniels could be riding them too.
Thank you for tuning in to Codo Cinema. I'm your host, Mark Codo, aka Codo Man.
And I am Christian Taylor.
I'm Batman.
That is Marshall
And
Mathers.
that is Marshall, ladies and gentlemen.
Remember to watch movies and stay positive.
Yes.
Yes.